sooner or later, she'll want something from you that you're not prepared to give, and she will find a way to get rid of you. And then we get, oh, she's sweet but a psycho, little bit psycho. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to And Just Like Yap. I am Andy.
I am Caroline.
And we are back with episode 6, which is the finale of The Girlfriend. So far, this is only one season as far as we know because it is based on a book. For now, as we know it, this is the season and series finale of The Girlfriend. We left off, Daniel was proposing to Cherry after she had just smashed a glass on her head.
Wow, that makes me want to marry a woman, you know? Nothing screams marriage like smashing a glass on your forehead.
So, episode starts, we are in premarital bliss. Cherry and Daniel are entering what we can assume is their new home together. They've got some bags with them. They are making out in the doorway.
It's interesting that this episode, I feel like all the recent ones, they've picked up exactly where the episode before it left off, and this one clearly, we have like a little bit of a time jump.
And it turns out they've just come from picking up Cherry's engagement ring. And so Daniel wants to put it on, and Cherry's like, no, not yet. I want to make it official the right way on Instagram with French tips. She's joking, but also like,
she's not.
Cherry, she's not.
How much do you want to bet Howard bankrolled this engagement ring?
Oh, absolutely, I am sure, because as we've seen, Daniel the doctor so far has not gone to work. So Cherry's going to put herself further in debt with a different manicure. She also wants to have an engagement party, and Daniel's like, but everybody's going to be asking a lot of questions, and like, fair enough, like, you're not going to be able to invite your mom to that in the current circumstance.
But also, you didn't think about that before that dinner party.
And we see, finally, the hospital. He does indeed work at a hospital. Whether he's a doctor remains to be seen. But we are at a hospital, and Laura is pacing and chain-smoking outside, waiting for him to come out. We see she is wearing her Captain Sandy jacket, as you call it.
Yeah.
And
it's like the ship just like docked, and they're like in between, you know, when they like do their stop on the cruise, she's like, okay,
yeah.
I'm off the wheel. I'm gonna take my drag before I go back in.
Yeah, exactly. I'm off the wheel. So Daniel comes out, and Laura immediately ambushes him. And she's like, am I a violent person? Would I do anything violent? I'm not violent. And he's like, Jesus, cool it. I mean, the thing is, like, in this case, like, she looks super desperate and crazy. But at this point, like, it's impossible for her to bounce back from. And bombarding your son at his place of work when he's not expecting to see you is probably not going to be the way to fix. And Cherry, of course, sees that Laura is at the hospital when she goes to pick up Daniel in the Uber, because they are going to breakfast after he has supposedly worked the night shift.
Allegedly. Again, do not see him with any patients, any other doctors.
And then, of course, we get another long, wistful stare where Laura is consulting the ether about her problem. She hears Howard downstairs, and Howard is, of course, packing some stuff up.
My guy.
Laura immediately interrupts the fact that their marriage is falling apart to be like, whatever, we can't let Daniel marry Cherry. Like, they're engaged. Howard is like, Cherry is not that bad. Like, you need to just give her a chance. She's sweet. She donates to this nursing home. And Laura's like, why the fuck would she donate to a nursing home? And he's like, it's where her father died. This is going to become very relevant information very, very shortly. And Howard continues his complete dress down of Laura. You don't love me as much as I love you. I've done everything you wanted. I couldn't even grieve our lost daughter the way I wanted to because you made it all about you. There was no room for my grief, which is something that was said when Cherry and Howard were in Rose's room together in Spain. And then we get the final blow that really takes Laura fully down because Howard realizes, like, seemingly it doesn't matter to you that, like, I am done. Guess what, though? Let me spoil your entire illusion of what your career has been.
Correct.
He has been pumping money into the gallery for years. He has been calling in favors left and right, embarrassing himself, trying to get people to buy the stuff that's not selling. He also says like the whole thing would have gone under within a year if he hadn't been financially propping it up, and like she apparently had no idea. At one point he even says like, this isn't your career, this is your hobby. That is just wild. I'm like, go off, Howard. Like, if you really have been like spending your own money, and like he says like, I did it out of love for you, because she's like, you've had no faith in me. And it's like,
I know.
Well, if Harriet is to be believed, you weren't even really doing your job for the most part. You were busy hanging out with your son. Howard mentioning that nursing home reminded her that of the time she committed mail fraud and opened Cherry's mail. And she goes and gets the name of the nursing home and is like, probably thinking to herself like, if she's donating to the nursing home, then why does she have a past due invoice of over £5,000 if that's where her father died and she's only donating to it? Like, that doesn't make much sense. I also just think it's interesting that like Cherry is the one who's supposed to be paying for her dad's care and not Tracy. Why did Cherry agree to do that if she doesn't have the funds for that? Laura goes to the nursing home. As soon as she walked through those doors, I was like, no.
I know.
And she fully pretends to be a different person. There is very loose security at this nursing home. Like, usually when you go visit somebody, I know it's not a hospital, but usually when you go visit somebody in any sort of like medical or care facility, you gotta like sign in at the front desk, probably provide some ID, prove that you actually know the person. This is a very loosely supervised nursing home. She just walks straight up to one of the nurses and is like, I'm looking for my friend Mr. Lane. At this point, she doesn't know that he's still alive for sure. She's just assuming. But right away, the nurse is like, oh, well-dressed white lady, right this way. Come on in.
Come on in. She looks like she smells great. Like,
yeah, exactly.
There's nothing, that she wouldn't mean well about this visit.
She's not a threat. And then she immediately,
oh my God.
She's got a whole story. Last time you saw Sally, she was in diapers. Now Sally has babies of her own. Like, this poor guy, like, I don't know what his, like, cognitive abilities are at this point, but, like, just to have this woman just sit there and just, like, fully assume an identity of a person who does not exist.
Oh my God. And all the credit to Robin Wright, because the line read on this was absolutely psychotic. I was like, this whole thing that she was like, last time you saw Sally, I think she was in diapers. And I was like, yeah, this is I was like, how is this nurse buying any of this? Like,
I know.
I was like, can I see a picture of Sally? Like, what are...
I know the nurse wasn't expecting to be duped in this way, but like, I can't imagine like not having the thought of like, did you rehearse this in the car on the way here?
Because like Sally is such a name to pull out of thin air, like a very like fake child name. It was just
absolutely.
I mean, she's done a lot of shocking things to this point, but I don't know why this was the one that really sent me to like another dimension.
No, I get it. I mean, like blatantly lying about who you are to like an incapacitated person. And then she brings up Cherry, and our guy is not okay. His nostrils are flaring. He starts breathing very heavily. He is upset. And the nurse is like, all right, cool it. The nurse is like, don't take it personally. Like, he can't even stand to hear the mention of her name, which is very revealing and goes along with exactly what happened when Cherry came to visit him, is that he started freaking out. And Laura then is like, well, since this nurse seems to think that I am definitely the mother of Sally, what actually happened to him? Like, this is my first time visiting him in the last, I don't know, 20 years. And she said he was working on a building site, fell 20 feet, he fractured his spine, he cracked his skull open. And this is the first time we actually hear about what happened to Cherry's father. We did know that he worked in construction. And then we are taken back to Cherry and Howard, and they are wedding planning. Also, did we get whose perspective we're seeing this through yet? Or I don't think we have.
No, so I think what's sort of like this last episode, there was no POV shift at all. So we're just...
Oh my God, yeah.
So it's like,
okay,
we have to question who we're seeing it through. And maybe it's like, the point is like, we now we get to decide.
That's a good point. But we are taken to Cherry, and Cherry is writing in her little notebook, making plans for the engagement party, and Howard brings her a glass of wine.
I know.
And he's like, I know, sweet, sweet Howard. Sweet, sweet Howard being taken advantage of by another manipulative woman.
Howard and Tracy, they deserve... Maybe these two need to hook up.
I think so. I think I'd be into that. Howard is like apologizing for everything that's going on with Laura, and Cherry's like, families, whatever. Can't live with them. Don't need to have them. He's like, you must miss your dad at this time, and we are starting to put together the picture of Cherry's relationship with her dad, and it's not good, and he's not dead. And so she immediately manipulates Howard's emotions by saying, you must miss your daughter. Again, she's a mastermind of using her sexuality, playing on other people's emotions. Like, she knows exactly the right thing to say in the moment to, like, flip the interaction so that it goes her way. It's dark. It's so dark.
I know, and especially with, like, what follows when she says this.
So she immediately then is like, ooh, now that I've got him right where I want him, let me pounce. I don't have anyone to walk me down the aisle. And Howard is so touched, so unbelievably touched. She didn't think he would ever get the opportunity after Rose passed. Daniel walks out just as the two are embracing, and Howard's thanking her for asking. And look at Daniel's face. He's just it's gonna be okay. Like, these are my family now. Now Cherry is mommy.
Cherry is mommy, and daddy is daddy. All is well.
And we finally get a meeting of the moms.
The meeting of the mothers. It's a mother off. The meeting of the mothers.
It's a mom off. Laura comes in, I'm assuming just from the nursing home, and she's like, I don't think you know who I am. And Tracy's like, oh, I know ya.
I've heard tale for ya.
They go into the back of the butcher shop where previously Cherry took the heart out of an animal. Laura is like, I don't want my son ending up like Cherry's dad, which that is new information to Tracy, that somehow this woman has figured out that he is still alive. And Tracy immediately comes to her daughter's defense and is like, that was an accident. And she is like clearly like poised at the beginning of this interaction to be like, nope, I'm on Team Cherry. You're not going to convince me otherwise. And Laura is like, why? Why are you protecting her? Like, I can tell that you know that, like, she's got a bit of an evil streak in her. And Tracy is like, because she's my daughter. Like, I don't care what she does, how bad it is. Like, she's my daughter, and I will always protect her. Which, like, this is just good parenting. I mean, I know Cherry's crazy, but, like, in my opinion, if you're gonna have kids, you better be ready to help them bury a body. Like...
Totally! Well, and it's also like, Laura, why don't you get that after the lengths you've gone to protect your son? Like,
yeah, seriously.
Game should respect game. Like, you know this.
Laura's, like, continuing to poke at it, and finally... Tracy sort of snaps a little bit. I think in this moment, Tracy is trying to maybe do what she thinks she's capable of doing to end this whole situation and just, like, get Cherry out of this, because she's been trying to sort of be like, don't date this guy. It's not going to work out. Like, stay away from these people. So she finally decides to, like, be more forthright with Laura and is like, if Cherry finds out that you are, like, plotting against her, then God help you and your son. And she says more. We don't get to hear more of what she says, but we do find out that Laura has recorded it. Like the excellent tech wizard that Laura has been, she is making the most of that iPhone.
I will say, she is, like, being wasted in an art gallery. We need her in Silicon Valley. I would love to see Laura with Elizabeth Holmes. I think
the two of them in matching turtlenecks.
Yeah, they would take over the world. I see it.
They would.
I see it in my head.
They would. Oh, that's chilling. That's a chilling thought.
Two demonic blondes.
You know, that other band, not four non-blondes, two demonic blondes.
They off the other two.
You kind of wonder in the moment, like, why is Tracy revealing this information? But I think this is her last-ditch effort of, like, oh, this bitch has found out more information about Cherry's dad. Like, now she's, like, a threat. She's coming to visit me at my place of work. Like, now she's a threat to me. So, like, yeah, you know what? Like, let me tell you about Cherry. And she gives Laura some information, we don't know what it is, that Laura feels very emboldened by.
Yeah.
And she has recorded it. And she immediately texts Daniel a couple voice messages. She does not send him what she just recorded. It's just her being like, hey, you need to call me. Cherry sees these come in while Daniel is in the shower. And in another sneaky move.
I know.
She's like, just in case the sound of the shower isn't loud enough, I'm going to tell Daniel we need to start talking about our engagement party song, which I don't know. Not a thing. Now we've got the shower running. We've got Daniel singing, thinking he's having a good time. So Cherry can hold the phone to her ear and listen to these voice memos, much like I do when Caroline sends me a voice memo. And I'm still at work or out and about, and I've got the phone close to my ear listening to my favorite podcast, which is Caroline talking about what's going on in her life.
And unfortunately, that one's not on YouTube, so...
No, it's not. That's a special one just for me. But yeah, she hears Laura pleading with Daniel to, like, come see her so that they can talk, and he's like, she's dangerous. Cherry promptly deletes both of these messages because she doesn't need that. Like, she says, like, oh, fuck off, and deletes both of them. Daniel comes in and sees Cherry on his phone and at first is like, wait a minute, what are you doing on my phone? Cherry makes an immediate pivot and is like, oh, I was just picking a song. Puts on Bruno Mars' Marry You and is literally spinning him around in a circle to, like, distract him.
I have to tell you, this moment, I don't know if it did the same for you, but it took me back to, like, a trigger of the flash mobs of 2012. I thought we buried this song, but also good for Bruno Mars because he's still getting out of his gambling debt, so I hope that he was paid well by Amazon for the use of this in this episode.
There would always be one woman in the front who you could tell had choreographed the dance and was executing it perfectly.
Dance captain.
Sharp moves, dance captain. Like, she had clearly, like, danced as a teenager and was like, this is my moment. I've been working corporate, but now I get to be creative again. Yeah. And so, like, she's in the front giving it her all, and then you've got, like, the person's aunt who's, like, in the back trying. Like, the disparity of skill. So, yeah, Cherry, I don't know how she thinks so fast on her feet.
I know.
Spinning him around, trying to make him dizzy so he stops thinking about his mother. Cherry then tells Daniel, like, it's getting late, I should head over to my mom's. And she gets there, and her mom's like, why are you here? Similar to when they met at the coffee shop. And of course, Cherry plays it off like, why do I need a reason to see my mom? But very interesting that Tracy's immediate thing is like, what are you up to? What's your angle? Why are you visiting me?
Yeah. Well, and this is when I think she's trying to get her to come to the engagement party.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I think also what's interesting now is the shift from Tracy was, like, so excited to be included in the smallest aspect of Cherry's life, and now she doesn't want to be in any part of it. So that shows a shift of, like, of where Tracy is at with Cherry and just all the decisions that she's made to get to this point. It's like, I can't be complicit in this. I'm not, this family has only exploded and made our lives worse. Like, why? I can't indulge this behavior.
Tracy's like, I'm not going. I don't want to be anywhere near them.
Yeah.
And then she reveals, like, part of the reason I don't want to be near them is because I got a visit from Laura in her tweed elbow pad jacket. And Cherry is, of course, now, as she has before with her mother, because she takes such advantage of her mother, is like, what did you say? Tell me exactly what you said.
Yeah.
She was like, whose side do you think I'm on? Of course, I just told her to fuck off. Not the truth, Tracy. This is the first time we see Tracy, the most honest butcher in all of London, telling a lie. If you ask for a half pound, you are getting no more, no less, okay? Tracy's gonna cut it right where it counts. But But yeah, so she lies a little bit to her daughter. And I think from my perspective in Tracy's head, she's like, I mean, let's just see what happens now, because she was trying to do it whatever she could to make this end. Now. The next thing we see is Cherry is sneaking out of her bedroom at her mother's. She's dressed in all black. She's tying a scarf around her neck at night, looking like she's about to rob a bank. Literally out loud on my couch was like, what is this bitch up to?
I know.
And of course, she is at the alarm system of the gallery and is putting in Daniel's birthday. Was I offended that, this man was born in 1998, almost a full decade after I was born? You bet I was. Anyway.
I know, he's 27.
Yeah, 28. Yeah, it's did you know people born in 1998 can be full adults? It should be illegal. But yeah, she's entering Daniel's birthday. She gets into the gallery, she puts her scarf over the security camera. She heads to Laura's office. She picks up that creepy little bear, and this was chilling. In an American accent, says, "Hey, Mama Bear." I had a moment where I was like, has she been lying about who she is this whole time? Is she American?
I know. I was like, wow, this is like Gossip Girl voice. Like, hey, Mama Bear, it's Gossip Girl here. Like,
I saw Blair Waldorf and Chuck Bass. And then she burns Laura's eyes on her portrait with the end of a lit cigarette. She just goes for it. How did you feel about this?
Oh, it was just like, she went through it like all the way. She was like, I'm making a hole in this. Like, it was just so shocking. I was like, this is like she's a trained assassin, it feels like. I'm like, you've done this before. I'm like, Nicholas, pick up the phone. We still don't really know what happened to Nicholas, like what she did to Nicholas, other than like they got the restraining order and that she was obsessing over them. So it just, I don't know, it was bone chilling because it was like, okay, well, I don't know how far we're going now at this point. We've really now we're escalating to espionage.
Don't make me believe Nicholas. Like, that's not fair. That's not fair to me.
A man. That's not fair.
I just had to take this shot because she looks so fucking cool.
I know.
But then Cherry uncaps thick black Sharpie, one of those ones you use for writing a poster.
Yeah.
And we are back home, and Mommy Tracy has noticed that Cherry left, and she is scoffing and shaking her head at the top of the stairs before going back to bed. And this is the moment that I realized the reason Tracy was like, why are you here, is because Cherry went there so that she would have an alibi. And Tracy, in this moment, knows that she is about to be used again. She's going to have to get questioned by somebody, and she's going to have to lie about her daughter's whereabouts again. As you said a few episodes ago, like, this woman has not known peace since Cherry was born. There's just no way.
Her and Howard deserve to go to an all-inclusive resort and not a White Lotus one. They deserve to go to a regular all-inclusive resort where they can just get drinks by the pool and just, take naps, get a tan. They've earned it. They've been through emotional warfare, and this is and they are the victims of that.
Yes, absolutely. And Laura the next morning wakes up to the creepy bear in the creepiest possible place, which is sitting right on her walkway out of the door. And when she gets to the gallery, she sees what has been done. Cherry has used that marker to write liar all over all of the paintings. She sees that her eyes have been burnt out of her canvas skull. We saw this in the trailer, and once we see Cherry at the gallery with the marker, we know that it's coming, but still has a very big effect to see just how much art she has ruined. And I don't know. I mean, maybe I care too much about the visual arts, but I just can't imagine taking a permanent marker to somebody's painstakingly painted artwork.
I know.
It's just so upsetting.
I know. No respect for the arts.
So Laura calls up Lilith, of course, to deliver the bad news. But when she gets there, her reaction is not Lilith is in such deep pain. She literally said, when she agreed to have her work displayed, she was like, Laura, you need to take care of these pieces because these are my babies. These are my children. And Laura is just seething with rage, and all she can think about is Cherry, and she doesn't show any compassion to the fact that, like, Lilith's life's work is destroyed. I know. And she says, this is perfect. This is exactly the proof that we need. Like, that's a crazy thing to say.
I know. And also, Laura looks like the painting right now.
Lilith, draped in fabric and disappointment, is like, you know what you've lost? Your fucking empathy. And Lilith looks so pained. Like, it really, really broke my heart. And we head to the engagement party where Cherry is stunning in a sequin red dress. And these two are, like, doing, like a two-person stand-up routine.
It was like an Abbott and Costello. I was like, what is this, Sonny and Cher? Like, it's just... the joke, I was like, okay, who wrote this for them?
I know. Like, Cherry's like, it only takes a near fatal blow to the head. And Daniel's like, let's go climbing on our honeymoon. Yuck, yuck, yuck. It's just like weird vibe.
Yeah.
And then Laura shows up at the engagement party, even though she was not invited. And I just hope that this exact picture becomes a meme because, like, just look at it.
I know.
She is in a leather blouse, holding up that glass. She looks great and evil as shit.
Oh yeah, and it's a callback to the shot of Cherry at the art gallery when Laura was doing the speech. I had to say also a leather blouse. She must be sweating. Like her pits, my pits would be disgusting in that.
I know. It would just be like sticking to me the whole time. It does not look like a comfortable garment. And then they're trying to prevent Laura from coming all the way in to the engagement party, and she gets stopped by Isabella, who is like, one of these days you will have to let him go. So Isabella has fully left Laura's side. She is fully Team Cherry, and she is like trying to keep Laura out of her son's engagement party, which is just heartbreaking because these two were so close, and Isabella was totally down for Laura's bad behavior. And the police arrive, and Laura is smugly smirking the entire time, and they come to arrest Cherry publicly at the party on suspicion of criminal damage. So Laura finally, as she said to Lilith very insensitively, like, had the proof she needed to get something done for the police officers to finally be like, all right, I guess.
It shows like the level of like zero judgment that Laura has at this point, because she's also ruining her son's engagement party.
Correct.
So for her to be doing this, like, not just, like, that Cherry's engagement, it's, like, your son also. So, like, you're also humiliating him. You're not just like, he is the byproduct of that as well.
Yeah, as usual with these two, the men, their significant others, are just collateral damage left in their wake, because it's now fully about the two of them and who is going to win. And we are taken to the police station where Cherry is waiting to be questioned, and she looks like the Joker. Like,
I know. This shot was like I was horrified.
She is beaming, trying to hold back her smile, and she's just like absolutely gleeful. Like, this might be the happiest we've seen her in this series thus far. And it all dawns on you as a viewer that you're like, this is exactly what she wanted.
I know.
This is why she did it. Not just to hurt Laura. She did it so that Laura would embarrass herself and embarrass Daniel and cause a public scene. This is all going according to plan. She is 10 steps ahead of everybody. But as the police come in, she, like, tries to, like, fix her face. And they're like, there's CCTV footage of somebody, a woman your height and your build, going into the gallery. And Laura thinks it's you because you've been harassing her. And she was like, haven't there been all these articles about, like, Laura being a bully? And didn't she just wrongfully terminate somebody who, I can't remember her name. I think it was Harriet Bancroft. Yes, of course she was using Harriet, but she was setting her up to get arrested. Like, oh my God.
Our girl Harriet's catching strays left and right.
I know. Like, she cannot catch a break. Like, that is just crazy. Like, you're bringing another person into this whose life you're going to ruin, who didn't do anything to you. Back at the police station, Cherry is let out, and Tracy is not happy. She's like, look, I told them that you were with me and that I could hear you snoring all night. So, like, I did what you wanted me to do. But, like, I'm at the end of my rope here. You don't love this guy. It's just ambition. You're just trying to win. He doesn't even know who you really are. And Cherry's like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? And then Tracy reveals to Cherry, look, Laura knows everything. She knows she's coming for you. And Cherry, of course, then, like, is about to speed off in an Uber. And Tracy's like, it's not done you any good that I, like, covered for you all those years ago with your dad. Like, I don't know why I keep doing this, but, like, I'm done.
The detail, I think, that, like, why she pushed her dad off was that it implied that he was abusive towards her mom. And I think that's, like, something, again, that makes me feel like I actually don't feel bad about that. Because it's like, well... Again, to cite the ancient tax, goodbye Earl, as we've already discussed, like, you know, Marianne and Wanda had to take it to, you know, the police weren't helping them, so...
Yeah, sometimes you have to take matters into your own hands. She does tell Laura when they meet at the butcher shop, like, you don't know what he did to us, like, he left us in horrible debt, and, like, yeah, it is inferred that he was abusive, and that he was just, like, a terrible, terrible dude.
Yeah.
Ain't it dark wrapped up in that tarp? So Daniel arrives back home, and Laura is like, I need you to hear this evidence that I have. Like, I just need you to, like, stay here and hear this. And Daniel's like, no, we're not doing this. And he's like, you couldn't let me have the one thing I actually wanted for myself. He starts finally revealing to Laura that he feels like he's been controlled and curated his entire life. About time. And Laura's like, but I've spent my whole life giving you everything you ever wanted. And he was like, no, it was what you wanted. You picked my clothes. Like, you, like, picked my education. Like, you have done absolutely everything. And I have just gone along with it because I had to be me and Rose. Which is the most cutting thing that, and the most honest thing that Daniel has said. We've all been thinking it this whole time. Like, this guy's life has been the way it is because he was born in the shadow of this horrible, horrible grief. He's the only reason that his parents, like, remained together when they were going to separate. He also says in this whole speech, like, you know, I couldn't do anything to upset you. Like, don't upset mom. She can't take it. And so he's finally, like, letting it all out. And, like, it feels really good to hear this from him because this is, like, the most self-aware that we have seen this character. Laura has a moment where Robin Wright, again, credit to her acting.
Yeah.
The energy fully shifts and something's up. You don't know what yet, but something's up. She's like, okay, I admit defeat. You've chosen her. And she decides to say her last goodbye to her son. We get another moment of foreheads touching that has been a through line throughout the show. Again, don't know if this is relevant, but it kind of looks like the shape of that sculpture that we see a lot around the house. I don't know. I could just be making that up.
I feel like, are they cutting out the sound of the leather swishing during all of
this? Oh, they have to be.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they have to be. I'm sure they realized just how sticky that all sounded. And they were like, it's too late. It's too late. We've already, like, done the tests of the lighting. Like, we can't. We have to just do your best to act through all of the switching. Don't break. This is the most crucial moment of the show. Laura, again, in her, like, weirdly chilly and resigned, is like, just stay and we can have a proper goodbye. Just have a drink with me. Danielle's like, all good things must come to an end. So awkward to be like, yeah, this is my last goodbye with my mother. Meanwhile, Cherry is frantically trying to find Daniel because she does not want her secrets to be revealed.
Right.
And Laura gave me absolute chills. Just this, like, glassy-eyed, blank face, like, I'm just gonna go get some ice. Like, it was just, oh, it made me so nervous.
It's like, Daniel, why are you trusting her? You've seen, like, a time and time again, this woman has shown you she does not have your best interest at heart. Even when she says she's gonna leave you alone, she's not. Like, get out of the house. Get out. And then those blue pills make a comeback.
She runs upstairs and gets her fancy, high-level, expensive, knock-you-out NyQuils that she's been taking with wine and breaks them open and dumps them into the, I presume, whiskey, scotch, some sort of brown alcohol, and stirs them up with her little swizzle stick. And it's just, you don't know what's in those pills. I don't know, like, 2 of them straight to the dome can't be good. You're having thoughts of, like, is she trying to just put him to sleep to keep him there? Is she trying to kill him? Like, what's going on? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And Daniel...
Oh, my God.
...is fading very, very quickly. He is completely knocked out. He's like, I don't know what the hell's going on. What's happening? I don't feel well. He is slumped over. And Laura's like, it's fine, baby. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You're fine. This is so dark. This is so dark.
It's too much.
She has clearly purposely inflicted harm on her son, which is just absolutely insane. And finally, we understand why, which is she wanted to keep him there so that she could finally reveal this smoking gun that she has on Cherry. I had the thought of, like, I don't know, fully incapacitated is probably not the best time for him to receive this information.
I agree. I was like, I don't know. He's not going to, if we've learned anything, he just had a coma where his memory is already bad. Yeah. How do you think drugged is going to be any better?
But she starts playing this recording. We don't get through any more of it than we've already heard before the alarm goes off and somebody is in the garden. So Laura leaves Daniel slumped and fighting for his life. He has a glance over at his empty glass, and I think we can assume that he realizes that his mother has essentially roofied him. And Cherry has managed to get into the house, and Laura immediately is like, oh, I told him everything. He's already gone, so you should just go home and, like, deal with him at your apartment. And Cherry's like, I see right through this. Like, drop the act. I know you're lying.
Yeah, you've done this before. I think I've seen this film before.
And I didn't like that. Cherry is immediately like, why is this even, how did we even get here? Like, I'm polite, I'm intelligent, I adore your son. Also, like, and Laura's like, I didn't want to lose him. And she's like, you didn't have to. This could have been fine. And this is the thing, like, as a viewer, you've been thinking this whole time of, like, oh my God, if there wasn't so much miscommunication and there wasn't so much ego and you guys weren't so poisoned, like, you could have just worked this out. People all the time, like, get married and, like, their mothers don't try to kill their significant other, like,
every day,
and vice versa. Every day. I mean, nobody loves in-laws, but, like, you make it work. And Laura, you know, does the big reveal of, like, I've seen what you did to your father. Have you ever fessed up to what you did? And then we get this chilling moment where Cherry's like, no, he deserved it. Like, and honestly, fully emotionless, no hesitation.
I'm on her side.
Yeah. I trust Tracy implicitly, and she said he was bad, so...
Also, his reaction in the bed to her name, I was like, there's dark energy there. I think, you know what, this man deserved what he got.
And Laura's like, oop, there she is. There's who you really, really are, because I am gonna judge you based on the darkest part of your history. And Cherry's like... What is your end game here? Like, even if you get rid of me, are you gonna just, like, keep him a child forever and he's not gonna have, like, any significant others that take him away from you? And Laura holds up her phone and is like, he's gonna hear it all. Cherry swats it out of her hand and it goes right under this little, like, end table thing. Cherry hears Daniel moaning upstairs, goes to find him, and she's like, what the fuck have you done to him? Laura shoves her, locks her in the room, locks her in her office, throws Daniel into another room to sleep. It's so shockingly violent and aggressive for this tiny, tiny blonde lady who at this point has been, like, seething but really trying to hold it in. Now kicks off a crazy run out into the end. So Cherry figures out that the only way to escape this locked room that she is in is to jump from the balcony, and of course this does not go well, and she, like, fucks up her foot or her leg or whatever. Meanwhile, Laura is on the phone trying to get the police to come over. Cherry arrives at the door and is rattling it, and of course Laura is also very rattled because Cherry has escaped her office prison upstairs. Meanwhile, Daniel is like fighting through it as best he can and is just like hearing muffled commotion downstairs. Laura goes and grabs a knife from the knife block because she sees through the window that Cherry is trying to figure out how to get in and is headed down another balcony to the lower level where the pool and spa area is.
The main event, finally.
The main event. We are back at the pool as we always knew we would be. Cherry gets in through that door to the pool, and Laura greets her at the top of the stairs through the spa, walking past those rolled towels with a knife, and is like, get back. And Cherry's like, what are you doing? Have you lost your mind? You can kind of feel in this moment of like, even Cherry's like, listen, I'm fucking crazy, but I wasn't about to pull a knife on you.
Right.
Laura is like, this is your fault. You've driven me to this. Meanwhile, Daniel is truly, literally fighting for his life, fighting through the meds, fighting through the scotch, trying to get down the stairs, falling all over the place. This man has already survived an almost fatal head injury. The poor thing.
I'm just realizing he reminds me so much of Linguini and Ratatouille. It's almost like a rat is controlling all of his movements.
Oh my god, he looks like him too. I think it's the hair.
Yeah.
His hair.
Little rat, Ratatouille's up there is like, okay, come on.
Yeah. So the rat who's driving Daniel is desperately trying to get down the stairs. Meanwhile, Daniel shouting for Cherry distracts Laura enough that Cherry tries to go for the knife and then ends up getting her hand slashed, which then, of course, leads to a struggle that takes us back to where we always knew we were going to go, right into the pool. We've got a power struggle in the pool. Cherry is holding Laura under at first, and I was like, oh my god. And then, of course, Laura fights back and is now holding Cherry under. Just as Daniel's coming around the corner of the spa, he hears his mom, while holding Cherry under, say, you little bitch. So Daniel has arrived at a moment where he has not yet seen that Cherry tried to drown his mom a little bit. He's only seeing his mom is trying to drown Cherry and is calling her a little bitch. He, of course, jumps in the pool. Absolutely a callback to the beginning where he jumps and tackles her in the pool. And he's like, oh, you're surprisingly strong for, an older woman. Wrestles his mom off of Cherry. And he's like, Cherry, did she hurt you? Now, remember, this man is fighting through very strong sleeping pills and some scotch. He entered at a moment that it wasn't fully clear what was going on. So he's only caring about Cherry. He's holding his mom under. She is struggling. And Cherry, to her credit in this moment, realizes what's going on and is like, Daniel, stop. And this blew my mind. She is dead. Daniel has accidentally, purposely, somewhere in between, he's still on drugs, he has drowned his mother. It didn't seem like that long had passed, but I'm assuming she swallowed a lot of water and was struggling, and I was just like, no, it can't be. Like, he'll do CPR, she'll be fine. He's a doctor, he'll do CPR. But he doesn't even do CPR, he just checks her pulse, and she is gone.
He didn't even take her out to the side of the pool to do, even try to resuscitate her. If you're going to your physical and Daniel is your doctor, run in the opposite direction and ask for another doctor. Because, I would not trust him. And it's a callback to, that shot of her holding him when he was rehabilitating. Yeah.
Yes. That shot where he's being rehabilitated and she's twirling him around in the pool. It's the exact same shot. And Cherry doesn't look happy about this. This doesn't seem to have been her end goal in this moment. She looks pretty freaked out. I want to stay on this moment a second. I could not believe that this is the ending that we got for Laura. That, she's the one who dies and that her son is the one that does it.
I know.
And he's as we exit the scene, he's sobbing. Oh, poor Daniel. This guy has had such a rough go of it and has been taken fully advantage and has somehow managed to be the one who commits the crime at the end. How did you feel about that?
I mean, it's now he and Cherry are literally trauma bonded for life. they're linked as one. I mean, it's shocking. It did feel like, in a weird way, it was like, I guess her son has to be the one to like let her go. I don't know, it's cyclical in some way. It's like her grief from Rose just like completely drowned her, and her son had to be the one to like put her out of her misery, because there is no way it seemed like she was going to have her way out of it otherwise.
The thing that like really upset me about this is like, it didn't seem like Daniel necessarily meant to drown her.
No,
it kind of seemed like he was just trying to get her away from Cherry. But again, like, she drugged him.
Right.
And so he doesn't have all his faculties about him. Like, adrenaline can only like cut through a prescription so much. So the whole thing just feels so tragic, because like, he definitely didn't want to kill his mother, but like, this is so brilliantly written, because you're like, it's kind of her fault ultimately, but also like, oh my God, what a fucking mess.
Now Daniel has to reckon with this for the rest of his life,
and then we cut to the epilogue. I have no idea how they've managed to escape whatever legal ramifications could have come out of murdering this woman. I mean, I know it was like technically an act of self-defense, but my God. So we see this wedding shot where Cherry doesn't look that thrilled.
No, she looks like she's being held hostage.
So they clearly got married. We find out that it is 1 year later. Daniel is happily trotting back into the house. We can see in the background that Cherry is pregnant, and pretty pregnant. Yeah, pregnant as hell. Also, just interesting that Howard is in like a proposal position. I know that they're like gardening or whatever, but that feels like it's meaningful.
And you could tell they're like planting pink roses, so I'm assuming that they're having a girl, is what I would my assumption, and that's why like Howard is just like so happy.
And Daniel heads into the house, and Moses is very preoccupied with something that is under this little stand that this plant pot is sitting on. And Daniel's like, what is it? What are you poking around? Because he's doing the little, like, that adorable thing cats do. And he finds a phone under there, and when he charges it, he realizes it's his mother's phone. As anyone could predict, all of Laura's photos look like she's dating her son. It's the two of them.
This one looks like they just got engaged. Like, the way that her hand, like, the ring is pointed, it's like...
I know.
Did they just get engaged?
I know. Flipping through all of these pictures where it's just the two of them, and he sees that there is a video. We did not know at the time that Laura had taken a video. We assumed that it was an audio recording, but he decides to play the video because he can see that it was like taken as a selfie, and it's something he hadn't seen before. It is his mother a year ago. Daniel, this is for you. I'm going to see Cherry's mom right now. And he listens to the rest of it, and we finally hear what it is that Tracy said after, you want to know about my daughter. And it's like, Laura, as you've seen, she'll glass herself in the face just to win. So this is the first time Daniel's hearing that Cherry did indeed hurt herself at the gallery, and his mom didn't do it. And then Tracy's like, believe me, she's done worse, not only to her father, more new information. And she goes on to like talk about like the guy who stood her up for a dance in college, or like kids that took her toys. Like, apparently she's kind of always been this way, indicating that like she's just got a little bit of sociopath just running through her veins. And this chilling shot where she is like rubbing her pregnant tummy. Meanwhile, Tracy's saying, sooner or later, she'll want something from you that you're not prepared to give. And she will find a way to get rid of you. And then we get, oh, she's sweet but a psycho, little bit psycho. Which was like so well placed. I was like mouth agape on the couch, and also just like,
They landed the plane. They landed the plane.
They really, really, really did. How do you feel? How did you feel? Oh my God.
Okay. All right. So here's my thing. If I were Daniel, I actually wouldn't be this like upset about that, because it's like, you know what? This is kind of like whatever. Like, my mom drugged me. Like, you know, I just feel like
True.
I think, like, the stuff that with Cherry, it feels like there's some sort of reason behind her actions, like, that I feel like we've seen. So I think for me, I was like, I'm still Team Cherry. I was like, this wouldn't, like, I would, if I were him, I'd be like, hey, can we, like, talk about this? Like, but, as we've seen, like, Daniel's just, like, so easily, even beyond the grave, he is easily manipulated by his mother. If I were Cherry, I would be nervous about that, like, forever. Because it's like, what is, like, the random thing that's going to, like, cause him to randomly not trust me? At this point, it's just like, oh, I would think, like, oh, she's gotten this video in the height of her psychosis or whatever rage she was feeling. And I would need to, like, think about that twice.
I see that. I definitely was, like, a little more chilled by this just because it's coming from Tracy. And also just, like, looking back and realizing, like, all of this shit went down and I ended up accidentally killing my mom, and all she wanted to do was, like, show me this, so she really was just trying to protect me. It still doesn't justify any of what she did, and yeah, she did drug him, and that was really fucked up. It's just chilling to hear this information a year later after, like, seemingly all the dust has settled, and, like, Cherry is pregnant with your child, so, like, now we are pulling that crazy right through the bloodline. Like,
I know.
I have to say, though, my overall thoughts, this show was so good, and this was really well done, and the plot, like, though wild and the choices were wild, like, it all kind of made sense and felt justified because the writing was so good and the acting was so good. I am disappointed that we didn't get to hear more about Rose. I think they accidentally set us up to want more. Maybe it was like a red herring, but yeah, that was my one thing where I was just like, that feels like a string we left hanging.
And I was wondering, I was just, like, looking up, I wonder if there was, like, anything in the book that we were missing. Like, that's obviously because we haven't read the book, and I'm wondering what details are a shift. I am curious to see, like, if this is doing well, are they going to try and, like, mine a season 2 out of it?
I suppose they could. I mean, I really hope if they do, it's not going to be like, Laura's secretly alive.
I know, and that, we can't do that. No,
but I mean, there could be something to be mined out of, like, Daniel trying to dig into Cherry's past, maybe, and get more information about that. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like, I do hope the show does well because it is really, really good, and I think people should see it. Maybe I will finally read the books.
Well, I'm looking up, like, the differences between the book and the show, and apparently in the book, Howard is a cheating husband and absentee father, so he is not the Howard that we love him.
Oh, god damn it.
I know. Daniel's accident is from rafting in the book.
Rafting.
And apparently they are older in the show than they are in the book. They're, like, early 20s in the book.
I see. Okay.
Oh, this is the big change. Cherry dies in the book.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Laura kills Cherry in the book.
Fascinating. That's like that's a huge shift.
I know.
Interesting. Oh, well, now I'm actually curious to read it because it doesn't seem like it'll be like reading something that I just watched.
I know.
It does seem like it's different enough. Well, overall, I just loved it.
Olivia Cooke and Robin Wright really sell the shit out of this show. And, like, the two of them, I'll say the vibes are exactly what you want. And also it's 6 episodes. Like, I've committed to 6 episodes or worse. So I think, like, I will say this is, like, if you just want to, like, turn your brain off, put a chili in the slow cooker, decant a nice bottle of red, and you got your candle lit, like, this is the makings of a great Saturday evening at home.
I absolutely agree. Well, this has been such a wild ride. I'm so glad that you, our viewers and listeners, were on it with us. Our next recap will be the next season, season 9 of Love is Blind, which I believe is in Denver, Colorado.
Yep.
So that will be starting at the beginning of October. We will get a trailer recap out to you very soon. And yeah, leave us comments. What did you like? What did you dislike? How did you feel about the ending? Are you Team Cherry? Team Laura? I personally am Team Lilith. But yeah, let's get some conversation going and see how you all feel. And we will see you for our next recap very, very soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.